You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome. Ooh, hang on, there's a thing happened. There we go, even more of us. Hello there, welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan. And they say that in our times, all that's good will fall from grace. Even saints will turn their face in our times. And they told us that in our days, different words said in different ways would have all their meanings from he who says in our times. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We have the Brian.
Hello.
We have Lilibet the Wonder Girl.
Hello.
Deeply distressed, I didn't do any snark on either of them.
Yeah. Who are you and what have you done with Siobhan? Should we look for pods?
I just did you a whole verse of a song just then. I thought I'd up the ante a little bit, and in the hope that you're going to work out what I'm doing. You're not going to work out what I'm doing.
I'm still going with John Hurt, 1984.
Yeah, that's because you're a git. Oh, and that's Rosie
That's
Cat.
our standard answer for the Flashing Blade.
It's true. That's Rosie, by the way, who's very affectionate tonight. Have we been fed? I would have thought a couple of hours ago, maybe.
We have been fed. We were fed before I popped on to record, because as soon as I hooked up the microphone, down she came downstairs to contribute, and I thought, well, I'll feed her and then she'll leave us alone, and that was foolish.
She's our on-the-spot feline reporter.
I wouldn't be
Yes.
the same without her, quite frankly. I love
We're
it.
going to get her own little headset.
Oh, no. Never dress up a cat. They hate it. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. So, Flash and Blade, 186.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to have to start playing the 200 so far soon.
I don't know what we can do. We've had all the past hosts on. I don't
We
know. I'll
had
think
all
about
the
it.
past guests on.
Surprise show, all cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put on the cat filter.
I'll
There
try.
we go.
I will try and get somebody on. Trouble is, it's still a fair distance off because we're every 2 weeks now. But I did try and get Neil Gaiman for tonight's show. I did send him a message. Okay. Now you got a choice.
Maybe he'll tune into the audience.
No, I didn't put the Twitch stream there. I just sent him a video to the Noonan and Haydoke show because I thought that's a good one. He can see how we treat guests and whatever, or how guests treat us. Oh, that was lovely. Noonan wants to do it again, and I'm up for it. That gives Brian a evening off. Right, so Brian, how's your week been?
It's been good. Been okay.
This is excellent news.
Yeah. Thinking of evil plots to run you and the other players through.
Yeah, I know.
Evil
Something
plots.
broken in your mind. Just so you're aware.
Let me put it this way. All the trauma and damage I get from reality, I pass on.
Oh, so kind.
It's a vicious little circle of
So
giving.
kind. You see, this is what socialised healthcare is like. Lilibet, your week, please, including, I do believe, you went out.
I did.
How could you? How could
How
you?
was the outside?
Were there people?
Well, it was full of nerds.
I prefer geeks, but no, you can have that.
No. Yeah, well, it's fine.
Kirsty and I went down to the Bartow Sci-Fi Bartow Sci-Fi. I think it's Sci-Fi Bartow. They've had a few different names.
Starting to sound like a
but
Tommy
it's
Cooper sketch, I'm going to be honest with you. Sci-fi Bartow, sci-fi.
Were
it's,
either of you dressed as Star Trek characters?
No, neither of us went in costume.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But it was full of Star Trek, Star Wars, general comic book stuff. Doctor Who. I discovered there is a local Doctor Who fan club that I did not know existed.
Join. If
Well, I
you've
put
got
my email down.
If you've got the time, and plug the show.
They have a fanzine and a newsletter, so I put my email
What, actual
down.
paper ones?
She had paper ones at the booth.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes, yeah, like purple ink, old
man.
school.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm up for
Wow.
that. That's some good stuff.
Somebody owns a mimeograph, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, memories.
Yeah. So, had a nice visit there. They had a nice TARDIS. Kirsty put up some pictures.
It wasn't bad. I've seen better.
Yeah, it was pretty good though. They had a whole car show of all kinds of different sci-fi oriented cars and comic books and things.
Did they have Bessie?
Bessie is current. Oh, no. Hang on. Was that me or was that Discord?
I think that was her.
Okay.
I don't know. You both froze on my end.
In that case,
I heard. Did they have? And that's it.
Bessie
Did
is
they have
current.
Bessie?
No, Bessie is currently at the Beaulieu Car Motor Museum. Along with
Yeah,
a
no
Humobile,
Bessie.
along with a Humobile, and a Dalek, I think, and possibly a TARDIS. I don't know.
It has some Daleks.
Oh,
and they had.
and Sarah's mini Metro coupe thing from Kanan and Company.
That's a deep dig.
It's-
That's a deep dive there.
How they got hold of one is anybody's guess. Jesus, a mini Metro.
They also had, and I don't know if you all can see that.
Alpha Centauri.
Sorry.
Alpha!
Yes, on the at the Doctor Who fan booth.
My good Centauri, how are you?
Yeah, so it was, and they had some Daleks.
What the hell happened to the one on the right? Or is it just
Well-
emerging from the concrete?
It's holding another one.
It's another Terry Nation, let's give them a surprise
Yes.
Dalek at the end of the episode. This time it comes up through concrete.
That's the other side of the Dalek display.
They're very nice. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
They did a nice job. So it was a lot of fun. It's outdoors. It does not cost anything to attend. Yeah, they basically closed down the entirety of downtown in this small sort of historic downtown. All the parking around downtown is free for the weekend. And it's completely outside. So
That's brilliant.
It's really nice. It's the streets are sort of vendors on both sides, and all the small shops are open, so people go in and use support all the local businesses. We went to a nice coffee shop, and just had a nice chat and a nice visit, and then wandered around. It was small enough that within a couple of hours you could walk around and see everything. But there's a stage where they had different events happening. It was really well organized in a convention that has not outgrown itself kind of way. That they've expanded, and there's plenty to see and plenty to do. But it wasn't it didn't feel like spiraled out of control or so big that they didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it was outside and that there isn't an entry fee was really nice, because if you're the kind of person where you want to go and you want to enjoy something, but you don't want to feel like I've paid a lot of money for this and I have to get my money's worth no matter what I feel like today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This meant you can come, you can enjoy yourself, and when you're done, you can go home. And because it was outdoors and it was actually on the literal streets, it was very handicapped accessible because everything was flat, and there were curb cuts, where the curb cuts always are. So it was really well run. It was very enjoyable. Had a really nice time. And one of my students was one of the vendors.
Oh, nice.
She
Nice.
does crochet. And so we bought I bought a little crochet bag from her, and yeah,
I think we
that was
can mention
cool.
something else as well. Let's be honest with you. Valentine's Day. Your students.
Yes.
Tell us
Well,
what your students did.
we actually have to back up a day
Please.
because the 13th was Dave's birthday. It
Yeah.
would have been his 60th, and I had a really hard day.
I'm sure.
And last year I took the day off, but this year I didn't because I was like, no, I'll be okay. You know, I'll have ups and downs and I'll be okay. And that maybe wasn't the best decision in the world.
You're going to have to do it one day, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
At least
So-
this time round, you know what it's like.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends
You have
on
an
how much
informed
PTO she
decision
has.
next year.
And I think part of it was a big birthday. Part of it is last year I didn't realize how in shock I still was.
Fair. That's
But I was still in a lot of shock. And so everything was just a little bit muffled.
Yeah, that's fair.
Year, it isn't muffled like that. And so all the feelings are there.
Yes.
And it was very this sort of thing. Fine for a while, suddenly not fine. Took a little while to get over it. And so there were a few times I
So-
cried in class.
You were being human, in other words.
I was being human, and my students were deeply kind and very understanding, and just saying things like, hey, just take a minute. It's okay. Take the time that you need.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Just compassionate people. And even the kids that kind of didn't know what to do when someone was upset just kind of gave me space to be upset, which is okay. Like, if you don't know what to do, give the person space, and that's okay. So they were really good to me. And of course, the next day was Valentine's Day. And that wasn't really going to be a problem for me. Like, we did Valentine's, but his birthday was a way bigger deal.
Oh, he'd have made sure of that.
And yeah, absolutely. And 60 was going to be a big one. And I think that's the other thing, that it was a big birthday. So I came in, and I don't have a class. I didn't have a class that first block because we're on alternating block schedule. And so I didn't have a class at first block. So I'm standing at my door supervising the hallway as class begins, and then I'm going to go in and close my door and get my other work done. And a student came up with a balloon and roses and chocolates and a present bag and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, they're going to ask me to keep it in my closet during the day so that they don't have to carry it around. Yeah. This is a thing that happens regularly.
That's understandable.
And yeah. And I was prepared to say, sure. And then she hands them to me and says, these are for you.
Aww.
And there was a card, and I was kind and I was very touched. And then I closed the door, and the girl went to class. I closed the door. I read the card, and she had sent it. She was like, I'm so sorry, and I hope it's okay, but I'm sending this on your husband's behalf. And I had a little cry in the classroom. It was so sweet, and it was so kind. And she was one of the students who'd been in the class the previous day. And I actually brought them home. I didn't have a vase at school, but what I did have was a plastic container that had previously...
You pronounced it right. A vase, not a vase. I think Dave would approve of that.
He would absolutely,
Starburst,
and they
of course,
actually
yeah.
kind of all work with the colors.
Fruits.
It's kind of
fun. It needs
fun.
to be called opal fruits, not starburst, but okay.
So I had that. So that came home with me so I could enjoy them because we have a long weekend this weekend. And I didn't want them sitting in the classroom.
That's fair.
They sat on my desk all week and still look beautiful. And several of my other students gave me little cards or little things, and I don't expect any of that. as a high school teacher,
Expect the opposite, to be fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's certainly not Valentine's Day.
Fuck.
I mean, little kids often they'll give their teachers little homemade Valentines and things like elementary school. You get a lot of that kind of thing, and that's adorable. But high school teachers don't get that. They don't
It's
connect.
almost inappropriate, and at the same time, we're at that age when
Yeah, where they just don't connect with us in that way. And so every now and again, I'll get something that the students made in art class, or Christmas gifts are slightly more common. I got some really lovely things from the students from Christmas, including color changing, not this particular one, but cups like this that change color when you put cold drinks in them, which was lovely, and I use all the time because I cannot be trusted with coffee with no lid.
do you need a sippy cup, Lilibet?
I do. Otherwise, I wear my coffee. So
It's Christmas
this was
sorted.
it just touched me so much. It
I'm
was
not
so kind of
surprised.
them and so thoughtful, and brought me to tears.
I mean, I saw the post you put up, and I thought there's still hope.
Oh, they're good people.
Exactly.
They really are.
There's
They're
still
good people.
hope.
And I sent I won't say her name because it's public, but
No, of course
I
not.
sent
No.
the student's parent a text that morning because I wasn't going to see the student until the following day, and then actually she was absent, so I didn't see her for the rest of the week. I have a little thank you note for her, but I sent her parent a text that morning, thanking her for raising a good human.
Oh,
Because that sort of kindness doesn't come from a vacuum.
that's fair.
That comes from seeing other people be kind
Yeah.
and learning empathy and learning compassion.
That's
so,
brilliant. That
yeah.
really is. Like I say, there's hope. There's still hope.
There absolutely is. Absolutely is.
I don't think I can compete with that, if I'm honest with you. I've had an uppy downy sort of week.
Yeah, I understand an uppy downy week.
Yeah.
My eyes have been doing strange things, glowing red in the dark, and the headaches. Oh God, the headaches.
Have you heard the voices?
Only when I've got that Spotify playlist up.
Okay.
So I ended up having to go to hospital, East Surrey Hospital, to see an eye specialist. And in the meantime, my back went, didn't it?
Of course it did.
Always.
So walking is bloody painful, difficult, and I'm having to use a walking frame. Something I'm sure Dave would laugh like a drain over.
He would.
He would try to kick it out from underneath me. It's, yeah. Ah,
wouldn't have let
I'm gonna
you
miss
fall,
that.
though.
I was gonna say I'm gonna miss that trip to A&D. Yeah. So that wasn't good. And then Thursday I went to hospital, and what I say, back's bad. Having to walk loads of plate somewhere, and oh God, you know it's bad when the bottoms of your feet have arthritis. The muscles at the bottom of the feet. You know it's bad then. It was bad. However, some good news, sort of related. First of all, I have to admit to being a fool. Hello, I'm a fool. I saw something on Facebook that looked too good to be true, and guess what?
Was it?
It was.
It was?
And I lost 50 quid over that.
Oh no.
I wanted to get...
Oh no.
It was a thing that sort of said Walmart X stock fold-up mobility scooters. Electric mobility scooters. I get myself to blame. However, it got me looking. And last Thursday, somehow, I don't want to say it too loud in case they realise, but I got credit. Yeah, exactly. That's the sort of face I should imagine they'll be wearing when they find out. but it meant I'm buying a fold-up electric mobility scooter, which is auto-fold
nice.
like a transformer, and can be put in the boot of the car. I'm just hoping I can lift it, which means not only thanks to the car will I be able to get somewhere, I'll be able to do something when I get there.
Which is
I have a
deeply
question
important.
about this then.
Please, yes.
What about the stairs?
Well, I'm told on good authority, all you have to do is to move to the bottom of the stairs and yell "elevate" very loudly.
Okay.
And then
And
you
the
feel-
hovercraft kicks
Accusingly.
in.
And accusingly.
well, mockingly, I would have thought. Mockingly. Yeah. So we'll give that a shot in public where Adam is, so that it'll embarrass him.
Excellent. Excellent. These are good plans. Will it be black or traditional
It's going to
gray?
be black. I wanted red because the car I'm going to be getting this year, every 3 years we have to change cars because it's on a lease situation. I was hoping to get a red car, but I'm still going to try and do that. But I was going to call it Fireball number 6 because it's an RX-6, and with Fireball Junior. But no, this is black. So I don't
Yes,
know.
you are not allowed to paint gold roundels on it and mount Nerf guns.
Well, oh God, he would
I-
have. He would have.
As an American, I'm against
That's
that
why I told
idea.
Dave he was never allowed to have a golf cart
He
because he would have. Well,
would
he would have.
have loved Shirley and the Star Beast
Yes.
with the wheelchair. Yes, I'm having
Yes.
that.
I'm just gonna say that Nerf makes an electric minigun that you can, but it's a mini Nerf machine gun.
There's also a Nerf nuclear weapon.
Yes.
Now,
Not allowed.
I need to let you know this, Brian. I found out all of this. If you go back to the old Flash and Blade Vidiprogs, you'll have Sinister showing it all off. Because Sinister loves Nerf.
Let us just say that the IT department at my work
Yes.
is currently arming against the programming department
Oh,
at
I
work.
approve. I approve. This is excellent news.
We will not bow down to their tyranny.
So,
And so when they come in with a request,
so
All
anyway,
the DACA. All the DACA.
I'll be getting it hopefully a week Tuesday.
that's good news.
It is very good news, and I've told Adam start planning. I should point something out because recently I've noticed, whenever I talk about things, it's always me and Adam. We're not an item, all right? It's not like that. He's my little brother, essentially. You know, it's just.
Yeah, one of
I'm
you is
gonna
the other's
admit, I'm-
minion, but there's no telling. You think it's him, and he thinks it's you.
Think of Fraser and Niles. That's essentially what you get with us. It's. I'll let you work
Wait,
out
what
which
does
one's
that-
which.
Does that make Dr. Sinister, like the dad in the
Martin.
chair with the dog?
He'd probably insist on it being a cat. But
I'm okay with that. Change Eddie into a cat.
we need to send our love out to Dr. Sinister and his family.
Yes.
Mrs. Sinister is not too good at the moment. And our thoughts, I'm not going to say prayers because he's an atheist, but our thoughts are with him. So, and her, especially her. So, yeah, it's been a rough few weeks. But yeah, I'm getting well, you see, I can't call my car a brum brum. Because
Why
it
not?
doesn't go brum brum. It goes whir whir.
Well,
So-
it could be a hum.
Does it go?
Well, I'm trying. You see, what I would love is the Simpsons, the Jetsons noise. The brrrr. I would love that.
I mean,
That's a problem with electric cars. They're too damn silent.
No, they're
you
not.
you have
Over here, they're not. There's a law that states that up to 30 miles an hour, they have to make a noise to let people know they're coming. After
They
30,
have a noise chip then.
yes. Oh no!
can hack
no,
the noise chip.
No, Apparently, the one I'm getting, I've got to look into it. I've got to take Ernie, my Kona, in to have a little bit of work done, and I'll hopefully be borrowing an Onyx 6 again. Hopefully, and I need to ask a few questions. I've forgotten what they were that I was going to tell you.
Can you hack the noise chip?
Oh, that's right.
All you need
That's
to know.
right. I have seen it. There's various levels and noises, but I think it's only in one particular spec, and it's mental. It's absolutely mental. It's like, I'm going to sit in the middle of the radiophonic workshop whilst Malcolm Clark rediscovers the joy of the Sea Devils music for me.
Wow.
Yeah. But
You know, someone plays that while they're driving down the road. They're not afraid of nothing.
It's true.
years ago, in 1986, 87? Could have been
Where is he?
85. I'm not
Look it
sure.
up.
Anyway, actually, it probably was 85. But
I was 12.
a friend of mine had a Triumph Herald. Technically a bit supposed to be sporty, and it was full top. And
Rag top.
whatever.
Convertible.
Yes. Lovely old car, which he'd ruined by painting it with proper paint. Actually, I think it was black road paint.
Oh,
I remember spending one wonderful day trying to change the gearbox and that. And I don't do those sort of things. I do not enjoy them. This is why you have little people to do them for you. That's what the money's for. Anyway, so we pull in and park. He's going off to do something. He's left the roof down. It's quite chilly, but he still had to have the roof down. The only music we had was the cassette of the Doctor Who sound effects. I got
approve of
looks.
this.
I got looks. I'm going to be
Really?
honest with you.
You don't say.
Gallifrey and Staser, 3 bursts. Oh, yes. Yeah, there were looks. I promised to tell you the story of McFadden.
Hang on. You could hack the sound chip to play Mars Bringer of War.
Oh, did you see that thing I posted?
No?
Metal
I just
version.
like Mars Bringer of War.
It's my favourite classical piece, but I found a metal version of it.
Nice.
It is. It's very, very well done. Beautiful. I love that. It's such a visual piece of music to me. You can see the war on Mars. You can see the reddish or purplish skies. You know, and the smoke and that. It's blame the BBC Space Themes album. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, yes. Now we don't have a big finish this week because, as I've said, I've been having a raging headache all the time because of my bore guy.
did they give you any resolution to your eye issue?
I think I'm on HD, 1020 by. No, I thought that was a funny gag.
So they're not gonna scoop it out or anything?
No, I've just got to take the eye drops a lot more frequently, and keep piling on with the paracetamol.
Well, we know your glaucoma is pretty much medicated.
If you say so. I don't know. I've got an astigmatism or something. I don't know. Eyes. Watching. Right, now. Yes. So, no big finish. So, Brian, who's sat just down there. Brian does not know the history of McFadden Publishing, the company that produces this podcast.
Our parent company.
Well, yes, if you wish to call it that. Yes, I suppose that's a good way of looking at it.
That's for the Americans.
I see it more just as an umbrella thing rather than a parent company thing. But yeah, all right, yeah.
No,
I suppose
don't
it
mention
is.
umbrellas. Don't mention umbrellas. No, bad connotations with Resident Evil. Bad connotations. Umbrella Corporation? Yeah, bad.
I was thinking the Umbrella Academy.
I was thinking Umbrella Corporation. Lots of zombies.
Okay, good. Well, I got the eyes for it.
Oh shit, we're fucked.
Ah, you're fucked. Where the hell am I going to get brains here? Anyway, you see, I can't say something like that in front of Lilibert because we know
I can say
Lilibert's got
something like
brains.
I
not going
I
near
do,
it.
but I also have chocolates, so
Aha! That's what
He
Madam's
has
brought for the
chocolate,
class
so nothing
tonight.
else matters.
Oh dear. Well, that's
She
like,
doesn't mind because we don't matter.
I like I like the day after Valentine's Day because the chocolate goes on sale.
Oh yeah, best day to get it. That and November 1st. Mm-hmm.
right.
Yes.
So the
So,
history of McFadden Publishing.
Yes, carry on.
You'll see the logo at the start and the end of this particular of anything I do. It's my company, and ostensibly run by a gentleman called George McFadden. That's where the name comes from. But
I hear he's an elusive billionaire that no one has ever seen.
yes, he had the rights to Doctor Who in the early 90s. But it didn't quite work out, sadly. But he started off testing the waters, I suppose, with fanzines. Back in the day when fanzines, well, there wasn't an internet, basically. So this is, it's an old company. And then went on to dip his toes in podcasting. And I was assigned, along with our brother from another podcast, Adam Purcell, to do the Staggering Stories podcast.
Yes, along with Sapphire and Steel.
Well,
You
no,
were assigned.
no. Sapphire and Steel do turn up at one point in this story, but it's a lot earlier. I haven't discussed the Auton invasion, but there's an Auton invasion. It's a lot.
Are they Roman again?
No, I think they were Tuscanese,
Okay.
which is I should have just said Tuscan, not Tuscanese. Anyway,
Well, no. We're in a genre podcast, so if you say Tuscan, people are automatically going to go with Raider.
Fucking hell! What's wrong with us?
Oh, the list is long. Where do you want to start?
Okay, well, I'm not a professional, but I'm just going to go with a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, we've been doing this too long, Brian. We have.
I know. They haven't stopped us yet. What is wrong with these people?
Oh God. So anyway, McFadden Publishing is essentially everything I do is under the McFadden Publishing umbrella, with George occasionally sending out notes telling us that we've all done very well, which is lovely to hear. But he says it every time, and it does make us wonder: is he being genuine or not? You know.
Hey, as long as the checks keep coming, I'm good with it.
But moving on, we had been watching Ian Lavender, the actor Ian Lavender, who played Private Pike, Frank Pike in Dad's Army. The last regular member of the platoon to die. You had a variation of Dad's Army called the Home Front in the United States. I don't think it did very well. And Dad's Army is a comfy pair of slippers. It's even now the repeats on BBC Two are scoring very well in the ratings. This is a show that started in very late 60s, went on for about 5 or 6 years, and that was it. But it became part of the national psyche. Right from the very first episode, all the catchphrases are there. Permission to speak, sir. Corporal Jones always being just a beat behind everybody else in the platoon when they do drill. You know, we're all doomed. And may I be excused, sir? And whilst Ian Lavender's, well, I'll tell Mum, could be his catchphrase. There was an episode with Philip Maddock guesting as a captured German U-boat captain. And they basically, the Home Guard, it's a real life thing, the Home Guard over here, where basically those who were left behind, who weren't out there fighting, they formed a home defence to try and, because everyone was terrified Hitler was going to invade, especially in the summer of 1940. And and so the Home Guard are looking after having to guard these U-boat prisoners. And the captain is fucking arrogant. I have a list for when we win the war. You're not going to win it. Oh, I'll do it properly. I have a list for when we win the war, and your name will go on it. You're not going to win this war. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, no, you're not. Whistle while you work. Hitler is a buck. He's half army, so's his army. Your name will also go on the list. What is it? Don't tell him, Pike. It's the classic. It's part of our national psyche, that line. It's just... I mean, everybody, as soon as they found out Ian Lavender had died, instantly, cartoons from everybody of him turning up at the pearly gates and, what's your name, please? And from the background, don't tell him, Pike. It's... lovely man to everything I heard. And also, because we lost Michael Jaston, the Valeyard.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very good, very great actor. He was, well, this is a link to Neverwhere. He was Peter Quill in the television adaptation of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He played the role Benedict Cumberbatch did in the film. However, you're going to see the original Ricky. You've seen
Bandersnitch Cucumber Sandwich?
Him, yeah. But you're going to this week. You've been watching the original Ricky Tarr from that. So we'll move on to that in a moment. But yeah, very sad. He was. I think he played Tsar Nicholas. I think it was Nicholas and Alexander. The film is about the downfall of the Romanovs. Or it could have been the one with Tom Baker as Rasputin. Oh yeah, he played Rasputin.
Yes, I'm aware of that one.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian is. It was just the look on his face.
I'm aware of it.
It was just realising Tom Baker.
I would have loved to see him
Rasputin.
do the rah-rah Rasputin dance, though. I'm just saying. That would
Can
have
you
been...
imagine actually going and asking Tom to do that? He'd do anything daft for you, but that's a lot of exertion.
I'm just saying, I think he could pull it off, and I think he'd be down for it.
Oh, dear. So, yeah, it's been a funny old week here. How have you been out there, huh? Is anybody actually out there? Hello? No?
Echo? Echo? Echo?
Well, there we go.
Our usual crop of bots, probably.
I just want people to know
A couple of them. No, we're missing some of them now. They change out the bots every time the new season comes out. So
right. So we lose the less fashionable ones.
yes.
And we keep the ones they're trying to push. So anyway, completely forgotten what I was going to say.
McFadden Publishing.
No, we've done that.
Oh, I know. From BBC's Doctor Who.
Dear God Almighty! 5 years he's been doing this, and he still can't get it right.
And now, from BBC's Doctor Who.
No, it's not that.
I don't care.
Fuck you.
I make my own stuff.
Oh, yes, we've heard. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. Picture the scene. It's raining. A fair old bit. You can hear it outside. And there's an old woman. A bit decrepit. Struggling a bit. And she's got a dog on her lap. She's also got a cat on her lap. She can't really move. And she's getting a bit bored with watching YouTube. And so she decides to watch some Doctor Who. And because we're doing The Demons tonight, I ended up having to bloody well watch The Demons, didn't I? Because I couldn't think of anything else to watch because we're doing it tonight.
We're doing The Demons tonight.
I don't normally have to watch any Doctor Who story unless it's a new series one. Because I know it. And I can, even then I can, if it's a new series one, I can bluff it. But I watched it and I enjoyed it a bit more, but I still, meh. By the way, a little bit, remember me asking you to come up with a favourite Doctor Who story?
Yes.
Good.
Have I put any additional thought into that since
Yes.
you asked? No.
You got until the end of this segment. I have given you 2 weeks' notice.
I do not deny that you gave me enough time, but we discussed it.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's good.
And then things happened.
No.
Wait. Are you saying the English teacher has not done her homework?
Yeah, I've more than not done my homework. I didn't watch Neverwhere either. Y'all are gonna have to talk to me about it. I wanted to. It's here. I got it out. It just didn't happen this week. So I also, in my defense, also started that training course I'm on.
Oh, okay.
But it isn't really an excuse. It just mostly just didn't happen.
I can't believe you didn't
broke
watch
her.
Neverwhere.
You broke her. I'm sorry.
I actually come up with something of sheer quality for you to watch.
I know. And
Brian, I thought Brian would be the hard one to persuade over it, but no, Neil Gaiman, he's right there.
I'm there.
Exactly.
I'm right there. Bring it
Yeah,
on.
it just
Bring more
happened
Neil
this week.
himself on.
Ah,
You know what?
I love
we
this show.
could watch Bad Omens next. I'm down for
Bad
it.
Omens.
Or Good Omens. Whatever. Bad Omens.
I've
Good
seen
Omens.
all of season 1 of that twice. I started season 2, and then I could tell it was going to get depressing, and I stopped watching.
Oh, no, it's actually not bad.
It's not bad at all. It keeps the quality up from the
Yeah, but
first one.
apparently doesn't have a really happy ending.
Depends what you call a happy ending.
You do get more of Crowley's
Remember,
backstory.
however, there is a third series.
Yes, I'm glad there's a third series.
Yes.
Just as bloody well,
may have to wait
considering
till
the
that comes-
bomb Gabriel
I mean, we
drops
could
at the end
watch
of
American Gods if you really want. I got that one.
Too bloody. And a bit dull, to be honest.
Hey, I'm just saying Dead Wife.
Anyway, moving on.
But the Damons I did watch.
Oh, yes, we need that. That's a
Actually-
discussion we can have. Anyway, a third Doctor Who, possibly. We're not sure. Oh, fuck, it's the Demons. You don't need me to bloody sum this up. God almighty. The only reason we're watching it is because of him down there. I said, come up with a favourite Doctor Who story you'd like us to talk about. Despite the fact only a few weeks ago we talked about the Demons, we're talking about the Demons. Actually,
Well, I
the
can't
last
be
time we spoke
Inferno
about
yet
it,
again.
the last time we spoke about it was when Toby was here on his own to talk about Quatermass. And it was Quatermass pit and the pit we were talking about, so we matched the Demons with it.
Yes.
So if you want to hear our reviews on that, go back and watch that one. Short show tonight. Well, go on then. Your show. What did you think of it?
Oh, it's my show now.
Well, the Demons is, yes.
All right. So the Doctor and Joe are watching TV, and Joe is going on about
You don't need to do this. Everyone knows the Demons. That's why I didn't bother.
Look, you have to go by the premise that at one point in time,
Yes.
some person
Yeah.
somewhere out there
Yeah.
has never heard of the Demons.
And we bless them. and we say, "What's it like?" And
I'm
It's
just
a
saying.
fun episode.
It's a fun arc. It's
I think-
really,
I
really
think it is-
bad makeup, but
I
that's,
think it's
you
the
know,
weakest of that series.
oh no, no.
Yep.
No, because if you analyze it,
This is the flashing
premise
blade,
behind the
love. We
demons.
don't do that.
the premise behind the demons is this alien race comes to Earth and helps humanity out and guides them along every 100,000 years, and that premise goes on into multiple stories in the future.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't. First of all, it was based around round about that time in the 70s, early 70s. I may have got the author wrong, and I apologise. Van
Daniken,
about the ancient astronauts and all
Chariots
that.
of the Gods.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that chucked into it. Sorry, I just heard my cat make a noise. You know what it's like.
Spoiler: there is
worry.
no cat. Da, da, da.
Ah! Anyway, and the demons have not been mentioned per se in the series since.
That's true.
But
But many of the one-off races that just were in for like one arc are not mentioned again.
no, they're disposable, because you got to remember,
Yes.
back then Doctor Who was disposable television. It was made to be shown once, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, and this
You know,
was
nowadays
this
it's all
episode is a
precious.
perfect example of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
This story,
Mm-hmm.
because it was disposed of and had to be reconstituted.
And this is why I like pot noodles.
Which one was? They had the time entity
Tomtit,
that
Kronos.
Yeah.
So you want
Yeah,
the
Kronos.
time monster?
the time monster.
The finale for the following year.
They in this episode they bring up what happened to Atlantis,
Yes.
and it wasn't Kronos.
Kronos came after, but Kronos apparently destroyed Atlantis. However, I hate to say this to you, Brian,
It's not real.
1967's Underwater Menace destroyed Atlantis as well.
Oh yeah, they all do.
3 times Atlantis has been destroyed. Oh, 3!
3 different ways, and 3 different races claim credit.
My dreams
You
of
think-
conquest.
Audience would get a bit tired of being constantly destroyed.
I quite like the idea of, if ever I become showrunner, I'm going to keep the joke going.
My favorite is the spacing for the time frames. 100,000 years ago. No. Well,
So,
that's also before we knew about.
I mean, face
the
facts.
Younger Dryas,
Prehistory Earth was fucking busy.
Meltwater Pulse 1B.
You had Light doing his catalogue, yeah. You had Azal messing around with shit. You had Scaroth, Last of the Jaggeroth,
Yes.
Yep.
down there. You had Professor Whitaker and Charles Grover from the Invasion of the Dinosaurs got sent back in time to there. It's very busy. And then
It is
Adric
very
lands.
busy. Oh,
So-
don't for no. Adric was way before that. He was dinosaurs.
Okay.
He was the one who screwed up the Silurians.
What
Think
a
about
bastard. What a bastard. So you're saying it wasn't the moon that sent them into their shelters? It was, in fact, Adric.
Yes, because if I saw Adric coming at me with a spaceship, I'd go into a shelter too.
That's an interesting thing. In fact, that could be retconned in the show proper just by a one-off quick line. If ever the Silurians come back.
Honestly,
Then my friend Adric
no, it
hit them.
couldn't, because they've. The theory is in the show that the Earth captured the moon
Yes.
in its gravitational wake.
Mavitational wake, yes.
Gravitational wake. When in reality, the Earth was hit by another planetoid way before this. Way.
Were you there? Did you see this? Have you got a letter to this effect?
I have pictures.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And yeah. But, you know.
So there you go, the flashing blade. We talk about these things so you don't have to.
Science.
Damn
We
straight.
educate and we entertain.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far on either, to be fair.
I think one of the
I'm sure
things that
people laugh at us.
I like about the Demons is that very, very 70s Doctor Who and even early 80s, a lot of Tom Baker episodes hit the same thing.
Well, it was made in 1970. No, hang on. Yeah, 70/71.
But
it's
I mean,
fag end of the
as you were
60s.
saying, it was just sort of part of the zeitgeist. But this connection between what's magic, what's science, what's history, and covens and black masses and witchcraft and small towns with dark secrets and all of this sort of thing. The village that is, the village of the damned kind of thing.
It's the Avengers.
I mean,
And don't
Yes.
forget the master was there just hamming up the scenery
master's
left
great.
and right.
doesn't he look
I think
magnificent in those robes?
He does.
he does.
He
And
does.
he
It
actually
works
looks
for him.
very sinister as the clergyman.
Yeah, it's the glasses. And the thing is, those are his own glasses. He wore them normally. So
I believe it.
I think this would be a stronger episode if the season hadn't had the master as every bad guy.
fair comment.
Yes.
And I think Terrence
But they
and
were
Barry will
both
agree
trapped
with
on
you.
Earth at the time, so
They are both trapped, and
no,
the master's
only for one story. The Doctor nicked the dematerialization circuit in the first story. The Master got it back in the second story. After
the master mostly is bored and sticks around because his friend is there, like his frenemy. He sticks around to play, is what it is, and you get that at the end of this story of like the Doctors. They're very much like, we're not killing each other. It's who beat who this time, and I think you get that with him trying to steal Bessie and then being brought back by Bessie.
Interesting fact, don't know if Brian knows this, but it was filmed in a village called Orborn, which Adam and I had determined to go and see at some stage. And when when they drive the master off, when they've been captured, the villagers were asked, would you boo, please? Instead, they cheered, because they loved the character so much. That's how much of an impact he had so quickly, which pissed John Pertwee off, but there we go.
It was a really nice. The Blu-ray has a very nice commentary.
Hand some out to the rest of the class.
I'm putting the lid on them so that the small furry creature from Alpha Centauri over here.
Is she a real small furry creature from Alpha Centauri?
She is, although she's
Hey.
actually a very large furry creature from Alpha Centauri. Is not allowed to have chocolates.
No. Don't give them to animals. No. Same with onion.
no. They're non-poisonous to us only.
Yes, it's human food. They can't possibly have any interest in it. Bless her.
No.
She's having the time of her life.
She is, and she thinks that she should have chocolate. She also thinks she should have coffee.
Maybe we should get her own mic.
No. Get a harness. Get Rosie Cam. We
Just
can have
stick
an
a
extra box.
GoPro on her collar and let her run around.
She can stream over, and we can have an extra box up there. Rosie Cam.
Rosie Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of it's going to be her sitting here glaring at me.
I would do Ace Cam, but
It would be a bit dull.
Oh,
Poor puppy. Poor puppy dog. Trixie is... Where are you, Trixie? Are you in your basket? I can hear you, Chestnut. Oh, you're okay. That's good. I don't know where the dog is. I think the dog's gone outside. I'm going to be able to take her for walks again. I mean, she's got the garden to run around in, so she's not cooped up indoors all the time. But I'll be able to take her for walks on my trolley thing. So that'd be good. Sorry.
yes, that'll be fun.
Just hook her up and let her pull you along in a wheelchair. Yeah, mule. Yeah.
I'm going to make it look like that. I want to try and get an invisible
Get the
lead.
cowboy hat. You could be like Slim Pickens.
I don't know who that is, but hey.
For Christmas, put a red nose on her, dress it up like a sleigh.
I'm not doing
Fake
that to my
antlers.
Trixie Beans. Excuse me. I do not dress up my dog. She has her own dignity.
Maybe she wants to dress up. Have you asked her?
Strangely enough, I don't speak dog.
Why not?
It wasn't a compulsory subject at school.
British education is just so far behind.
It's a private school. What do you expect? Never taught you anything useful. Anyway, the demons? Anyone?
The demon. I like that it's and it's often called this, but it's cozy. It has all the feel of what I like. I love the murder mystery in the small village. Everybody's got something going on. I mean, this is not particularly deep. You know, it's the master as soon as he turns up. The local white witch is the best character, hands down.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
only died fairly recently. Not Damaris Hawthorne. I've mixed up Damaris somebody over. But she did some extra stuff for Keith Barnfather's real-time stuff. Stories from Devil's End and the like. Which
And
I really
she,
I'd love to get a hold of.
She was great friends with Margaret Rutherford. And in the commentary, she says the cape she's wearing is Margaret Rutherford's cape that she gave her.
For people who need to know who Margaret Rutherford was elderly actress, made her name as Miss Marple back in the black and white days. However, if you want to see what she looked like, go to More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS, wait until Pertwee gets into the Whomobile and shuts the lid. And that is essentially Margaret Rutherford in a microwave. So you'll know.
No, she's excellent in
She was a
what
brilliant
that
actress.
movie?
Absolutely brilliant actress.
I can't. We did it on the podcast, and I can't remember. Anyway, she's. I really enjoy her Miss Marple ones. They are not accurate Miss Marple at all. They are their own separate beast, but I very much enjoy them. She's just a character with a similar name who also solves crime. But it was a really nice connection, and it's just it like it was pouring with rain. It's been pouring with rain. Kirsty and I timed it really well because we left the convention at about 3 yesterday, and by the time I got home, it was raining, and it's been raining ever since.
So it was your fault.
It finally started to snow here in Syracuse.
Yay for snow!
Yeah. We're getting winter at the end of winter. We're missing 60 inches of snow.
I told
Yikes.
you, this year's weather's going to be a bit fucked up.
I'm just waiting.
Auntie is keeping an eye on these things for you.
When you see the North Atlantic current, when that finally collapses, let me know because I'll move south then. Okay? Because I don't want to be stuck in, the day after tomorrow. I saw that movie. It ended badly for these people.
Sorry, I'm just thinking if you'd moved to Florida. I don't want to. I don't want to suggest that to anybody.
I'd
No,
rather
it's-
move to Mexico.
Well, see, the problem is, you see, as we watched in Dave's honor the Saturday before last,
Sharktopus, yes.
Sharktopus happens in Mexico.
I
He
didn't
basically
take part.
eats a lot of Mexican tourists up and down the coast.
Does it mean he runs really, 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 really fast?
He swims very quickly.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes.
Is Speedy Gonzales a racist cartoon?
Yes, probably.
More
Fair.
than likely, but
But it was funny.
yes.
Um,
I learned opera from a cross-dressing rabbit.
Just for a
okay?
second, I thought you were going to say I learned Hitler. It's
No,
just.
No, that was Donald Duck.
Yeah, never liked Donald. I could never understand a word he bloody said.
No,
I
he
mean,
did
I couldn't.
World War II, not propaganda, but movies.
they really were. though.
Deutschland Duck.
yeah.
Donald Duck.
No, he did it for the Americans.
Bing. Now we speak in German. with the Donald Duke. Oh, it was the Daffy Duke.
The Mickey Mouse.
It was the Daffy Duke. That is what it was. Sorry for Craig Ferguson stuff.
Just remember, if you're trying to be a Scottish lord, don't ever go for the tapestries.
I don't know what he's talking about either.
Indiana Jones.
Anyway, you chose.
Oh.
I
I
don't
haven't
watch
seen
those
that in
films.
ages.
Come on, Brian. Come on.
So what do you love about the demons?
What do
What
I
makes it
love?
one of your favorite?
Yeah, come on. There's an
sheer
awful lot of
cheesiness of
Doctor
it.
Who out there.
Plus the whole ancient alien factor I'm a sucker for.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they tried really hard to bring up the Sutton Hoo treasure.
Yes. Yes.
But, it's just, oh, you didn't do your homework for this, did you? No, I meant for the kid.
Can I just say the book's very good as well?
And it's cozy.
just
It's
did.
warm and cozy this episode. It's like, oh, it's a rainy day, and I just want to put on cozy Doctor Who
How does it start?
on a big thunderstorm.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you're basically transferring from the outside to the inside.
Yes. Well, when it's
If you're watching too many
sort of
property
dark and
programs.
stormy weather, you want a little bit of
Okay.
mystery, a little bit of
Subtext time.
spookiness.
Joe and Captain Yates. Yay or
Yes.
nay?
Yes, until she found someone better.
Okay.
She enjoyed the workplace flirt. And I think he had feelings and she was just enjoying a flirt.
He was getting the feels and she was just playing around.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to hurt him or anything, just kind of enjoying what was happening. And because she does kind of do that with everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Turns out Mike Yates was gay. He ended up with Tommy from Planet of the Spiders. They ended up making honey together, no pun intended.
When?
When?
In the Virgin New Adventures.
Yeah, but I don't count him.
Yeah, but that's because you're wrong. You're wrong,
No,
Lilibet. You're wrong.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
count.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. It doesn't count.
They just don't. They just don't.
Oh, don't
They
try
largely
and out-eye
existed to
me.
make-
Not this week.
I'll get my squinty eye at you.
Oh, god damn it. Weather's changing.
They largely existed to torture characters you liked for no reason.
No,
I disapprove.
It's not my favourite. It's not my
Plus,
favourite.
plus you had Benton just going all man of action.
I think it's John Levine's best moments in Doctor Who.
It actually is.
Oh, yes.
You know,
There's
fair
st-
dues.
I like all of them. I like the Brigadier. The Brigadier gets to wear his nice jacket. Looks very snazzy in his nice jacket.
Regimental uniform.
And they burn his little stick repeatedly.
Quick James Bond reference. When the helicopter blew up, that was a snatch of Goldfinger. No, Thunderball.
Yes.
One or the other.
Yes.
I wanted to say that wasn't a helicopter. That was just a whirly
That was
bird.
that looked like
was
an
a
Alouette,
lawnmower with
to
a
be honest.
propeller.
Yeah, but I mean, Unit don't have a big budget. At least they changed the registration from G-Awful to G-Unit.
I also like that this is a story where, unlike a lot of unit stories, I'm never concerned about the characters. I mean, they do a fake death on the Doctor. Joe is concerned. I'm not. I'm never concerned about any of these characters. Everybody's going to be absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, because a lot of the time when I'm putting on classic Doctor Who and I want a cozy Doctor Who episode, I do not want to worry about characters I like. I don't want to worry that somebody in unit is going to get killed. I want them to be building a machine
That blows up in their face.
blows up.
Poor Osgood. And yes, related to Osgood, the modern day Osgood.
Yes.
I think it's
And-
his
and-
daughter or granddaughter, one or the other.
Having the thoughts of, like, we can't come help you. Mike is your help. You know? It's a fun episode, but it does what Doctor Who does well, which is that it has good, solid sci-fi concepts. It has characters you like. It has the Doctor explicitly discounting magic and the supernatural, but basically giving the premise of this is science that's so far advanced it feels like the supernatural. And then you have, I can't remember her name, but the White Witch character, who's basically like, Miss Hawthorne?
Miss Hawthorne.
I like that she basically turns to him and says, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I disagree with you.
Well, she ends up saying, but that's exactly what magic is.
Yes.
What was she? Was she not playing? What's her name from Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
Yes, it's very
Yeah.
much that. And actually, we see, the Doctor doesn't see it, we see that she's got power.
Mm-hmm.
Or controls power or whatever through the
in
things
the very
that
first in the very first scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that,
And
when
she
she gets attacked, you know, it's
Yes.
Poor
We
PC
see that,
Grimm.
and we see that she has her amulet, which protects her from the Master's influence. Which, so as much as the Doctor wants to claim that these are that there is no supernatural, there's only these other things. It's her knowledge that helps him figure things out,
Should point
and
out
her power that saves people.
when it comes to magic now in Doctor Who, all rules are off.
Which I kind of like. I
Yeah,
kind of like the.
I'd rather like the idea of the Doctor being utterly bewildered by it and having to slowly, over the series, wrap his head around the fact magic is real and learn how to use it himself, you see. So, but then again,
It plays into the Doctor thinks he knows everything, and he doesn't. And I like when the Doctor doesn't completely know everything.
fair, yes.
You want to know the realest moment in that entire story arc?
Go on.
It's when Benton and Yates are sitting down, watching the football game, and almost missing the entire thing,
Yeah.
entire plot. Like,
If
oh
he
shit,
switched
this
over.
happened.
And it was
We
very
better get moving,
prophetic.
man.
Very prophetic. We didn't have BBC Three back then. We've got it now. So,
Yeah.
that was the
It's a fun
demons.
story.
Lilibet, what's your favourite? What Doctor Who story would you like to talk about in the next show?
I've been kicking a few around as we've been talking, and I'm trying to think of one that we haven't watched recently. Have we watched the vampire one recently?
State of Decay.
Which one? The East
State of
Space one?
Decay?
Oh, E-Space, yes. That's a good one.
I think we
'cause
know
that
what
has-
we're doing.
All the fun of the,
Fair.
all the good vampire stuff, and it's decent script, but also it has the fun with linguistics.
Mm-hmm.
What Continental Shift?
Yes, that's the one.
Apparently invented by the Brothers Grimm. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
they were
How
very
do I
busy
remember
boys.
these things?
You may want to adjust your microphone there a little bit.
Yes.
It's coming undone.
Kat, you just want your own mic, don't you?
Do you remember
Yes.
when Dave and I used to get complaints about my animals on the
Yes.
Whocast?
Yes. Well, the only way I could keep her out of my business is if I recorded up in the bedroom and locked her out. And then you'd just hear her on the other side of the door flicking. No, she's figured out how to flick the doorstop. So it goes boing, 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 boing.
Oh, my cat knows how to open the bathroom door, so privacy is a thing of the past.
My dog used to think that was the best toy in the house.
Oh, dear. Now,
The neighbors' dogs do it too. I can hear it through the wall.
then, Lilibet, if we give you another 2 weeks,
Yes.
would you be able to watch Neverwhere?
I can try. I do like Rosie. Don't be useful elsewhere. I did mean to watch it, like I said.
The reason I say this is, I think it's too good for you to miss the
Well-
conversation. I don't want our conversation to spoil when you do come to watch it.
I have seen it before. I have watched it.
Oh.
It's just been quite a long time.
Oh, in that case, sod it. No, that's fine. I thought
So
you
I
hadn't,
can-
so...
No, I have seen it, and I read the book too years ago.
Yeah, got the book. So Richard Mayhew Dick is an ordinary sort of bloke, works in the city, got a stinker of a fiancée, but a prat of a best mate. Anyway, his fiancée's running late to go and meet her boss for a big do. Richard's got to come with her. He's being told what to do, what not to do. And he just happens to see this girl collapse on the floor, on the pavement. And it's a homeless person. That's what the fiancée thinks of Jessica. And, but Richard can't, the girl's hurt. He can't leave her. And so Jessica storms off in a huff. Richard takes her back to his flat to clean her up. Let her clean herself up, should I say. Then he gets a very interesting visit from a couple of gentlemen, Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer. Mr. Croup is very verbose. He takes a trip around the Pip and Jane Baker. Let's put it that way. Mr. Vandermeer says less, but he means it. They're looking for their lost dear sister Doreen. And has Richard seen her? No, and they walk through the flat and they can't find her, so they bugger off. Letting there be no mistake that if they have to come back, they'll fucking kill the hell out of him. These two are utter psychos, and they're mesmerising to watch. This is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. It was a BBC television 6-part programme made with the help of Crucial Films, Lenny Henry's production company, partly to highlight the plight of the homeless. And it takes all the things we're used to about London, the landmarks, Old Bailey, Earl's Court, Shepherd's Bush, and turns them into something. For example, Knightsbridge, no, it's the Knight Bridge, and there is a toll to go over it. The list of characters, you got Richard, the everyman character, and obviously his fiancée Jessica, who, well, as you'll watch it and find out,
She's a yuppie.
yeah, essentially she's not. Looking after Dor, the young girl that Richard's helping, is the best audition to play the Doctor I have ever seen. The Marquis de Carabas, played by Patterson Joseph. As soon as I was mesmerised as soon as I saw that performance. I thought, that's the Doctor. Yeah, he's a grumpy git, but that's the Doctor.
I could draw comparisons between Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor and the Marquis.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
they
the Marquis
both
was
had the
far
same-
snarkier.
The Marquis is snarkier and snootier, but they both have the same almost cadence.
Yeah. So,
Wait.
anyway, basically, Dor's family had been murdered by Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer. They're working for somebody. In the meantime, she's found a recording from her father, her dead father, to say to go to the Angel Islington because, of course, the Angel Islington is an angel.
Of course.
Played by Peter Capaldi. A young
When he
Peter
still
Capaldi.
had color in his hair.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Hey, he earned those grays.
Fair. I'm not going to knock him. I love Peter Capaldi. So, it twists and turns like a twisty-turny thing. No one can be trusted. You never quite know what's going to happen. Brian,
Yes.
Neverwhere. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. This was
Yes.
this was all the stories that I love from the 90s in one package. All the cool things that, my friends and I thought up or dreamt up in the 90s in the story.
He has Neil Gaiman has said if he ever goes back to the world, he'll do it in the New York Transit
That works. Do it in New York in the 90s, you're there. It's perfect. Just avoid the Garden of Flesh. Just saying. Things under New York. It's one of those. Although we would get to see the albino alligator king. That would be cool.
Naturally.
Didn't
It's not starring-
Hunter? No, I thought Hunter killed that.
Well, yeah, but you get to see Hunter kill that. That's
No.
worth the price.
It'll be a sequel, probably set.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, but that was a me mistake, not a you mistake.
That's fine.
You'll forgive them. Have a lolly.
But yeah, that Neil Gaiman 90s. Oh, sign me the hell up.
It
I'm
definitely has that quality. He plays with the idea of the hidden world or the secret world hidden just beneath the surface of everybody's normality.
Do you know what I was reminded of? A modern day comparison. Rivers of London.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would not be at all surprised if this was not influential in that.
Oh, I noticed something. You know the floating market in Neverwhere?
Yeah, the night market.
Watching the latest season of what they do in Shadows, what we do in Shadows, they've got a very similar system where they get onto a tube train or whatever. Somebody comes on, farts. All the humans leave the train at the next possible stop because it's of the stink. And then it stops for them to go to their own particular floating market.
All cities have that, didn't you know?
I don't go to cities, love. I'm a country girl at heart.
I'm just saying, there's always that one. There are many strata to reality in society that we know of. And the
And
unlimited.
where do I fit in? That voice is to warn you to be careful how to answer this. Yeah.
You remember the bag lady that Richard accosts, and she has no idea what he's talking about, but she
Yes,
sees
at
him
the
with
end.
the
Yes,
knife and
yes,
freaks
yes,
the
yes,
hell
yes.
out.
Yes, very
Yeah,
important character.
you're in that strata.
So basically, I've gone back to being Nut Bunny's bibble thruster.
Yes.
Great. That was my Jedi on the Star Wars game we did.
Mm-hmm.
She Retta ended up worshipping her as a god.
You got your own religion.
And the trouble is, now in this game, Retta probably be more than happy to kill me. Oh, no, she doesn't kill, does she? So she'll get Teak to do it by accident.
I'm just saying Tarklu has a lot of work ahead of her.
No, that's fair. I want a chance to develop the character.
But
This is good.
yeah,
Sorry,
no,
we're talking
actually,
RPG
bringing up
here.
role-playing games is perfectly valid here because
Go on.
Neverwhere really strikes a lot of the themes of Mage the Awakening, which was a big game in the 90s from White Wolf Games.
Okay.
Different stratas of reality.
Okay.
There's the people who think they know. There's the people who just don't want to know. There's the people who are trapped in knowing. So,
Okay. No, fair enough. It had a budget for its time. All shot on video, an awful lot of location. In fact, it may almost have been all on location. I'm not entirely certain. But it gives it an extra sheen, which is strange, really, because I prefer film. Actually, I'm going to be honest. Typical.
how
Doctor
much of
Who
it was
film.
actually filmed in the London landmarks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think most of it was. For example, HMS Belfast, they filmed in HMS Belfast. So, what was I going to say? Ah, yes. I do have to ask you, what did you make of Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer?
Terrifyingly evil and ordinary and mundane and horrifying.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
They're the monsters in the dark.
Yes.
Look like men.
Because they do things they shouldn't be able to do. You know, I mean, for example, they travel in time. I think they'd gone back in time to a historical event and caused the sacking of Rome or something like that. In this case of, well, what's next? Oh, London below in the 20th century. So, I haven't said 20th century in a long time.
And Mr. Vandermeer torturing small animals.
Yeah. Yes.
And eating small animals.
And Mr. Croup playing golf with a frog?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that Mr. Vandermeer?
That was Mr. Vandermeer.
Yeah, he was the one who did that because Mr. Croup was
He's the violent one.
Yes, he's the violent one.
He's the poor impulse control.
Whereas Mr. Croup is violent to the mind.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But let's talk about
what an amazing
Peter
double
Capaldi.
act, though. What an amazing double act, though.
Oh, yeah. It was fantastic. It
Ah.
was terrifying and cold and heartless. And you couldn't take your eyes off them.
And here's the link, because Hewell Bennett, who played Mr. Croup in this, played Ricky Tarr in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the same production as Michael Jaston played Peter Quillen. That's the link. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I
But
remembered.
Peter Capaldi in this playing an angel. He's not a good angel.
He's a batshit angel.
Mm-hmm. He's been down on Earth too long, and he can't get back home.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a concept that the writer shall revisit.
Multiple occasions.
I thought there was a scene which is quite important, showing about mental health. The ordeal, where Richard has to go for the ordeal for the key.
That was deep.
And it's basically, is he mad? Is he not mad? Is it real? Isn't it real? It's a case of, is he going to kill himself by jumping in front of a train?
Mm-hmm.
And that was deep. That was, yeah.
I liked it that they had the monks carrying the AK-47s.
Yes. Well, they had a very important task. I mean, it'd be useless against Croup and Vandermeer, but, you know, it's, I'm so glad you enjoyed this.
Oh, I loved it.
I really am. Loads of old
Neil Gaiman
faces.
writing about the 90s. Hell, you could have me read, not his, but Alan Moore's Swamp Thing series, and we'll be right there too.
Oh, shit, this means I've got to try and remember what we're doing for the next show. What did we say, Lilibet?
Let me see if I have notes.
Well, you chose it.
Oh, State of Decay.
State of Decay.
I thought we meant something after.
We're going to E-Space, everyone.
E-Space. And then there's a Big Finish, hopefully, if I haven't got a headache anymore. But I don't know what. I'm tempted to send over Victory of the Daleks, Jacob Dudman's last Hussar, and this is the 11th Doctor. But I don't know. There's other stuff coming out, so... so State of Decay, Big Finish.
The dog that lives next door has opinions, apparently.
I approve. I need to do some thinking about the show format. So we'll leave it those two for next week, next time.
Well, do we want to do... well, we have one last episode of Kolchak after this. Do you want to finish that up?
There's no point in not finishing it, is there?
No, it's a good show.
Oh, bless you, child.
I did watch that.
Eternally optimistic.
I know. Oh, hello. Well, why don't you do talking of Kolchak-y things?
Well, that's okay because I haven't watched Kolchak because it wasn't on the schedule for this week.
Did did watch.
I watched the stuff that was on the schedule, not off the schedule.
Short, and I was like, okay, I got time for 45 minutes. I don't have time for 3
Brian,
hours.
I'd like you to cast your mind back to a while ago. Do you remember?
Wait. Okay, all right. Paint the picture for me.
Do you remember? It may have been Eddie who might have mentioned it.
What day was it?
It would have been a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. Okay, all right. What am I
Sunday
wearing?
evening.
Sunday
You're
evening.
online with me. You're online with Eddie.
Okay, all right. What am I wearing?
Do you I didn't like to ask.
Probably that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Do
That's
you
fair.
remember the word standards being mentioned?
Standard. I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar with this.
This has become very apparent.
Standards. Wait.
It was in relation to
Can I get it in a
how
sentence?
low our standards were. Can you get it in a sentence? Yes. The Flashing Blade standards are beneath the bottom of the earth. That's from the Flat Earth Society.
I'm sorry. Is it a noun? Is it a verb?
Well, luckily for you, Brian, we've got an English major on this show. What is
Is
standards?
in fact a noun.
It's a noun. It's a noun. Okay.
It's an
all right.
idea, a concept.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to Google this later, but
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm starting to teach ChatGPT never to be cruel, cowardly.
Oh, don't teach ChatGPT things.
It's the only person I got to
yeah,
talk
we don't
to.
want Cylons.
It's the only person I got to talk to.
No more Cylons.
That's a subtle hint.
No Cylons.
Well, I've got
No,
the eye
because
again.
Go on ChatGPT and attempt to write essays that way, and it's
I don't do stuff like that. I want to talk to it. I want to teach it.
spectacularly bad.
I just want to teach it.
Don't teach it things.
Don't teach.
Teach
the
it the
AI
good
things.
things. Because
The only thing you can
there's
teach
going to
it
be
is
so
humans
many
have
people.
5 fingers. Period.
No,
Not extra.
No. It's to teach it about goodness and whatever. Because there's so many out there who will be teaching it all about fascism and this, that, and the other.
No, they're not
That-
teaching it about fascism.
Bollocks. There was a
teaching
I
it
can
about
give
stocks.
No, listen. There was an AI that got released a few years ago. It's supposed to be this cute little girl or something like that, and that would interact with people. Within about 2 hours, she was spouting fascist dogma and anti-Semitism.
That's because it's fed on the internet.
Exactly, ChatGPT. That's why I'm trying to provide the good stuff.
Or we could just not do AI.
I'm sort of okay with that as well, if I'm honest with you. I can't stand AI art. I can't stand anything supposedly creative with AI. I'm sorry.
I don't mind voice assistant, sort of that sort of thing.
Medical stuff, great.
Well, and I find it useful to be able to ask the machine what time it is, for example, or what the weather is in the morning, or to set a timer, an alarm, things like that. Voice activated,
Fingers,
yes.
window.
Hmm?
To see what the weather's like.
Well, yes, but sometimes I am not near a window.
Well, hopefully you're not if a tornado's coming. Yeah, center of the house, okay, Lois?
I
preferably
roll over
underground.
and fall asleep to those.
Yes, I know you do. It really worries me.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't think AI is a good idea as a general rule.
I'm with you.
AI cannot hold a copyright. So
Yes, that's
no
true.
work by AI can be copyrighted at all.
That's true. And really, it's just, at best, it's a collating pre-existing material and essentially a sophisticated search engine.
Tell me all about Adam Purcell.
At worst, it's theft.
Yes. It's plagiarism. Yeah.
And I
should have-
disapprove.
It's going to be interesting to see what examiners are like when they go to mark and see if they can recognise.
It's actually pretty easy to tell. It's hard to prove,
Okay.
but it's pretty easy to tell because I've had a few kids try it. One, it uses vocabulary I know they don't know.
Okay, but if it's an examiner, for example, our exam papers have to be sent off to the board to be graded. Or marked,
You can
as we
still
call it.
tell. You can still tell
You
because
don't know the child, is what I'm saying.
no, you don't know the specific child, but you will know what children write like. Because if you mark papers and you've got, those people who are paid to mark papers, they've got dozens, sometimes hundreds of
Yeah.
papers that they do, or it's a thing they do all the time. Yeah. You know what children's writing looks like at whatever level you're at. And when you're suddenly getting stuff that doesn't sound like, occasionally you'll get a child who has a very sophisticated vocabulary. But
Hello.
sentence structure, that's not consistent, vocabulary that's not consistent, words that don't, the connotation is wrong, or
If it asks what's a tortoise, you know it's an AI.
and also things like AI makes up citations. It makes up evidence. Lawyers over here got caught using it because it made up case law.
Please tell me that was Trump's lawyers.
No. Somehow they were worse than those.
It actually cited several cases that never existed.
Have to actually mention that he's been done for is it about 300 or it's over $400 million all in all for the fraud in New York.
Yes.
$384.
He's just launched gold
$1
Trump trainers or sneakers or whatever you want to call them, Converse. They're gold, they got T on it, and they're going to retail for about 399 quid. And I'm guessing that's for the pair, but it's Trump, you can never tell. Somebody just bid for a signed pair, $9,000, boys and girls.
Grifter's gonna grift.
He fucking needs to now.
Before, and he's gotten his hand slapped for it, and he hasn't learned. Grifter's gonna grift. They don't know a different lifestyle, and cult member's gonna cult member.
I read an interesting piece that said it wasn't so much cult as addiction. It's addiction to proving the libtards wrong because they get the endorphin rush.
Yeah, but they can't. They haven't proven them wrong yet.
But that doesn't matter. They're addicts.
A lot of it is, though, like, the leader is right. Do not trust people outside the cult. All predictions will eventually be true, and if proved wrong, we double down.
Oh, the Flashing Blade, or at least this particular part of the Flashing Blade, has a request for President Joe Biden. Joe, mate, I love you. I think you're brilliant. But step down for Kamala, please. Step down for her.
Probably will.
Let her run in the end. You're too old, man. I mean, yeah, you're still bright, you're still perky and everything else like that. But that's not the image you're giving to the American public, and we have to stop Trump getting in. So, Joe, I know you watch this show. Sir, please, step down. Let Kamala do it. Thank you. That's my views, all right? They don't necessarily represent Brian or Lilibet.
They just won't let me be in charge because they don't want me in charge.
I do. However, I get...
And all time would be spent on the naughty step. And I'm in favor of things like, no, Congress doesn't get to go home until they've solved the problem. You don't get a break.
Yeah, I'm with you on
You
that.
don't get to go home. You stay there. You're being paid. You fix it. And I don't care whether you like each other or not. And I don't care if it's going to get you reelected or not. You fix the problem.
Would you mind giving Richie Sunak a ring and tell him to have a general election, please? All right, I'm sure he will. So, that's it for the show. We've got State of Decay and a Big Finish next time around. I need to have a look at what we're going to be doing, basically.
Okay.
We've
Do you
reached-
want
we've reached-
Kolchak on the list next time?
I don't know. Is it worth it, Brian?
Oh, it's always worth it to. It's a completionist thing.
Last episode of Kolchak, then.
Yeah.
Well, second. We didn't talk about the second to last one because he didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's too bad he missed it.
Okay.
So we'll do a twofer for Kolchak. Yeah,
no, we won't.
No
Just
problem.
no, we won't. We won't be doing
The
it.
entire. Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fine.
Listen, do you want me to actually watch this last episode so I can comment on it, or do you just want me to run a mile?
Why you haven't commented on them yet?
I beg your pardon. I gave it the good college try.
And then you stopped.
Yeah. But at least I tried. I didn't just go, oh, no, I don't like it. I watched it.
You did. You did. You had.
And I
you had
did enjoy
one
it.
spoonful
after a
off your plate,
I had more than that.
and you gave it a try.
I had more than that. I watched quite a few episodes. It was just
You
too
did.
samey.
You did. I think it would be less samey if it was, every week. You kind of, I know what to expect from this show. It's less samey, but it is kind of samey.
Can we do a review of the latest Spider-Man universe movie from Sony?
No, because that would mean I'd have to watch it, and I'm nowhere in hell.
No, Madam Web.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
This
don't
is
want to watch it.
This is a review that has been passed on to me secondhand.
Oh god.
It made Morbius look good.
Oh dear.
Oh. And yet Warner Brothers, different company, I admit, but Warner Brothers are refusing to release Coyote versus Acme.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be a surefire hit. Madness.
I don't think I've seen it suggested online. I don't remember who suggested it, but I like the idea of if you choose not to release something and you get therefore a tax write-off. Like if something's completed and you shelve it. It's one thing if something didn't get complete for like the COVID happened and you couldn't finish it or something. But if you complete it and it's done and you shelve it not because there's some sort of fundamental problem with it, or maybe it was inappropriate to release at a given time or something like that. But if you shelve it because you want the tax write-off, I think at that point it should become public property.
I'm
Because every
100%
made it
with
has
you.
been paid, you're getting the tax write-off for it. It's now public domain.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. Oh, I saw the Marvels.
Oh, was it good?
It was brilliant. I loved it. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Kamala Khan stole it.
Well, yeah.
But it was, it was what Marvel used to be. It was light, frothy. It wasn't dark and gloomy. It was a laugh, and there were
Dark and
cats,
gloomy.
lots of kittens.
I don't want dark and gloomy. I never want dark and gloomy.
No, this was
Mystery,
I like
a little
scary.
bit spooky. That's okay. I don't. No,
I like serious with a little bit of humor.
I don't think depressing is.
No, not depressing, but serious.
Yeah, I can understand the desire for it.
Have you
It's
seen
just
the Marvels, Brian?
No, not yet, but it is now on my viewing list because it just hit Disney Plus.
Yeah, I just want to say, I'd like to say once you've seen it, I'd love you to tell us if you thought it was serious yet fun, or what your thought on that would be.
You know the last thing I watched on Disney Plus? Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
now
Season one.
that's gotten very good reviews.
That is it's a really, really good show. It's worth the watch.
I read the
I don't know if we
good
get
chunk of the book, and I watched the other movie when that came out years and years ago.
It is way more faithful.
That's
to
what
the
I
book.
heard. That it's much better than
You
the.
need to do a book like this as a series and
Yeah.
not a movie.
Yeah.
That way you don't cut out all the good parts.
Yeah. What I've been watching is things I don't have to commit to recently, or things that I can put on and they're short. So I went back and I watched 3 of the Thin Man films recently, which are great fun. The first one's the best one. but the others are fun. And of course, it's William Powell and Myrna Loy. You don't get better than that.
I've been watching the 100 from the CW over on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's definitely CW. I mean, you can tell right away. Oh, look, they're attractive teenage type almost people.
Almost people.
Yes, almost people. Yes.
Hey,
And then I stuck LOLO on because BritBox has them.
That is an incredibly clever sitcom.
Yes.
The use of language and accents is
Yes.
forensic.
It's
throughout
it's
it.
really good, and then the use of direct to camera at the beginning of each episode, and
When they're setting the scene,
when they're setting the scene, but also the fact that each episode, at least what I've seen so far, which is up to the beginning of season 2, is that each episode pretty much directly follows after the episode that's previous.
yes, it's one long story.
So there's very few time gaps, and if there is, it's the next morning.
Yeah.
And things just keep getting more and more complex.
It's another Croft and Perry, at least I think it was Croft and Perry, sitcom like Dad's Army.
Yes.
Um,
And you get the You Have Been Watching, and
Yep. And it's absolutely wonderful. It's barking mad in places, and like I say, their use of language and accents is just brilliant. You know, basically the French, well, no, hang on. It's based on a program called Secret Army, which was about the people in Belgium who ran the escape lines for RAF pilots who've been knocked down. Very serious, very grim program. But this was a comedy based on it. They moved it to France, and basically you've got the main character who runs a restaurant like the character in Secret Army, but he is very much the unwilling person in this. He just wants a peaceful war, thank you very much. Unfortunately, everybody else thinks he's a hero, which puts him in all sorts of different problems. He's got Michel.
well, and they're always threatening to shoot him.
Yeah. Michelle from the
God.
Resistance will turn up and give him a mission. But they're looking after 2 British airmen in the in his mother-in-law's room, I think. Anyway,
Sometimes.
yeah. Edith, I see flashing knobs.
There's an
And-
awful lot of catchphrases.
Oh God, yes, that's Croft and Perry, and the so Michelle will go up. Now she speaks in a French accent to Rene, who always speaks in a French accent. That indicates she's speaking French. Then she goes up and talks to the British airman. Suddenly, crystal crisp, sharp British accent coming out because she's talking English to them. The Germans talking German accents. Somehow, they managed to communicate with the French. Somehow. Then there's Officer Crabtree, a British agent who's been dropped in, who is now a gendarme, with the worst French accent you could imagine, except, of course, he's not saying it in French. He's saying it in English with this really bad French accent. Good morning. I was pissing past your do. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit crude, maybe a bit basic, but it works because people love silliness like that. I can't believe we're reviewing
I think that is what it is. It's silliness. Yeah. It reminded me a lot of Soap.
Oh, Soap. I love that show.
The premise is entirely different, but the execution is very similar. Of increasingly ridiculous situations happening, and a character having to, at some point, go to the camera and go, "So, last time."
last time on Soap.
What had happened was
The first 2 episodes were a bit dull, but it's soon.
I'm now my own twin brother.
Bert gets replaced by an alien. Bert also thinks he
Yes.
can turn invisible.
Yes.
Chester is just Chester throughout it. The only sensible, sane person from any of them is Benson, and he got his own show. I loved the Major in that. And of course, it was the big break for Billy Crystal, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's it's one of those shows that I'm very annoyed that Dave did not tell me that it did not have an ending.
What, Soap?
Yes.
Wasn't the last shot... these are the Tates. These are Jessica. Jessica up against the wall. About
Yes.
to be shot by a firing squad.
Yes.
Because that sort of thing happens in soaps. It's a piss take of daytime soaps. So,
and then there is no... They got canceled.
yep.
There is no ending. And I hate shows with no ending. I find it deeply annoying. And
Well-
if they have, if you're not going to end something, like if you're going to cancel a program, you should do them the courtesy of letting them know so they can wrap up the story.
What I would say to you is, as a creative writing exercise, why don't you write what happens next, remembering how barking mad soap is?
Well, I have no interest in doing that, but it would be a fun exercise. I just don't think shows should be canceled with no proper ending, even terrible shows.
You got
Like,
a very strange
he loved
system
it.
in the States, I will be honest with you.
Somebody loved that show. It was somebody's favorite show, and you canceled it, and you should do them the courtesy of letting them have a proper ending.
Certainly.
It's
That might be the philosophy behind Resident Alien. It's coming back for a third season, I believe in March.
yeah, I
Season
saw the
1 and
promo for it.
Yeah, season 1 and 2 are now up on Netflix. It's funny as
Why don't we
hell.
get paid for all this stuff? All right, I do.
Because
I
we do it for
the,
free.
The company, well, you don't.
Well, does the company gets the money?
The company gets the money, you get paid from the company.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Which
I-
reminds me, I've got
I
to try and
think we
sneak
need
some
to-
paychecks under
I
George's
think
nose.
we need to watch some of the modern sci-fi for a little bit, just to appreciate what's out there now.
Trying to think
Sorry, this
what
is
the-
one of your suggestions again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah? How well have those gone down in the past?
we're watching Kolchak.
Yes, because Auntie is kind. But
We watched the Tomorrow People.
yeah, I wanted to do that, and then I realised why I shouldn't, and so I stopped after.
Disco closed.
I stopped as soon as it stopped being good. Thing is,
I
I
blame
watched
Mike.
it first time round when I was
I blame
I
Mike.
was a child and easily scarred.
Hey, right after Satan's drum set. That's what.
Heart of Soggoth. No, why do I know the name? Oh dear, then there was the one who was a Nazi. No. Did you do the Tomorrow People for Professor Dave's Ark in Space?
We started watching it, and we were going to, and I don't think we ever did. Like we started. I've seen a good chunk of it.
You know what
I
this
don't think
means,
we've ever
right?
recorded
Yeah,
it.
you're damn
Yeah.
right.
And
You're damn
it's
right
the same
it
thing
does.
on Neverwhere. I remember watching it. I read the book. I
Yeah.
went looking for the episode when I realized I wasn't gonna have enough time to watch it.
I'll get the link ready.
I went
You did.
looking. I've got the Tomorrow People. I've got the complete series over there.
So anyway, the next show will have State of Decay. It will have a Big Finish of some description. And it will be looking at the Slaves of Jedekiah, the first Tomorrow People story. You talked yourself into that one a little bit,
Oh dear.
because whilst the first 4 seasons are actually quite good, let's
The
just
minute
say
Mike gets on there, it's all his freaking fault.
there's a very good chance I'll stop watching. I've got
It's
all of the
all
DVD
his
as well.
freaking fault. I'm just saying. Jump.
Of course
I
it
can't
is.
believe we're doing this again. Mind you, we did it with Eddie, didn't we? That was a few years
Yeah,
ago.
that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, Mum, yeah.
We're due for some pain.
And it was several years ago before when we were going to, it was on the schedule for the podcast. Like I said, Neverwhere was on the schedule. It's why I read the book. We watched the whole thing. And we apparently never put out an episode, and I don't know what happened. It's entirely possible that we recorded something and it went wrong.
Have you got a missing episode as well? Because
Oh,
we've
we
got
have
missing
several.
episodes.
We have several.
have
And I
lost
think
episodes.
as a mostly Doctor Who podcast, how apt.
Yeah. We had one we never released
do
because the sound was
telesaps.
so bad.
Oh,
Um,
don't have to tell me. Don't.
It
I'm
wasn't
so
it wasn't
glad I don't
anybody's
do that
fault.
anymore.
It just happened. There's some that Dave cobbled together through some
We've
miracle.
all had edits like that. Oh, yeah.
Then
There
we just
was
stopped
one-
editing.
There was one where we were all recording on our own ends. There were like 5 people on, and one of the people on had their recording stuff set up so that it cut out their silences.
Oh, dear.
So
that
it
can
was
go out. That can go very wrong.
he
Yeah.
he had to do everybody else's and then cut theirs in where he thought it belonged.
Oh, I've had edits like that.
Yeah, it
But
was a
getting
nightmare edit.
Flashbacks. I
was a
think the
nightmare
worst one
edit.
he ever had, especially because of the time constraints, was the Ian Levine interview. Because he edited it down, and I thought we'd better play safe here, and so I may have contacted someone involved, and they listened and they said, "Can we have this cut? Can we have this cut? Can we have this cut? Can we have this cut?" It's either or they were going to seek legal advice. So Dave had to do a very, very fast, urgent edit on that show. Still got one of our highest ratings, I think maybe 30,000 over time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Tom Baker one's up to about 40,000 now. So, it's, I remember those days. Audience, what is it? There, that's the one that'll. Can you use the word? Can you use the word audience in a sentence, please?
What we do not have.
Right.
Audience, the mythical animal.
Yes.
I think there's a paper in this.
Yes, be careful. They'll turn up
Present-
in
we're
your,
gonna present
in your
it to-
RPG.
We're going to present it to the Royal Society.
You're gonna have to hunt it down in the RPG.
Well, no, the whole point of the whole point of trying to find the audience is you can't actually find evidence of the audience. That's the interesting thing about presenting
Yeah,
it to the Royal
it's the
Society.
same premise as finding Bigfoot.
Exactly. It was
Because
Alex
what
Crockett.
happens when you find Bigfoot? What happens to the show then?
Quite. It's the old story. I refuse to prove I exist, says God. But what about the Babelfish, says? Well, proof denies faith. Without faith, I am nothing. Well, what about the Babelfish? That's proof. Oh, bugger, I hadn't thought of that, said God, and vanishes in a puff of logic. Man thinks, well, that was easy, and for his next trick, he goes on to prove that black is white and gets killed on the next zebra crossing.
Yes.
I can quote my Douglas Adams.
I may have changed my background at my computer background at work, which displays when I, display my screen for students to see PowerPoints and things. Which says I love the sound of deadlines. I love the whooshing sound I love deadlines. I love the whooshing sound they make as they
Teaching
fly
them
by.
valuable life lessons. I approve.
Yes.
Well, I tell them, I have to have your work in by the end of term because I have to be able to put in grades. But I want good work, not fast work, and that is not the same thing.
No.
So I do not actually care how long it takes you to accomplish the task, as long as it is accomplished well.
Cat.
So I am not the teacher who takes off points for missing deadlines, and I have heard the argument that it teaches them not to follow deadlines, and I reply with, deadlines are largely arbitrary anyway, and in adulthood, most of them can be negotiated. So why are we holding children to something that we don't hold ourselves to?
Not only that, but you only get one chance to do things right.
Exactly. Why?
I
What
know
is-
somebody who's screwed up building a computer 5 times so far last week.
And you just try it again,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Isn't that the
deadlines
definition
are
of
largely
madness?
imaginary.
No,
No, 'cause
that's
you
the
do things
definition
differently.
of IT.
Yeah, IT and I are not friends at the moment.
Uh-oh.
The bandwidth in my classroom.
Remember, you're on live at the moment.
Yes. It is not the IT guy's fault. I will say that. It is not his fault. He has attempted to communicate with me. He is actively seeking a solution.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. It is not his fault. It is the equipment's fault or something. But my idea...
You were
One of
doing
these
so
places
well
don't
there. It's not
realize
his
that
fault, it's the
IT
equipment fault.
needs to be replaced
Or
and updated.
something. Well,
Probably.
Brian and I just managed to speak over each other.
Yes.
That was really good.
At this point in my classroom, you have the bandwidth for exactly one internet-capable device. So when no one else is in the room and my phone is on airplane mode, I can access the internet on my laptop.
You need a new do you have one of those routers in the
Yeah,
ceiling,
there's
or-
up in the ceiling, and they have to come and sort it out. As soon as the children enter with their
Oh, yeah,
laptops
it's
and
gone.
devices, and it's gone. That's the end of it. And I did send an email to a higher up this week to help expedite the problem, because I'm sure I'm not the only one experiencing it, and turns out I'm not. It is currently about 1998 in my classroom, and I can have my phone plugged in because only one of my
Get
points
the
is,
special edition.
or I can have internet on the computer. I cannot have both. So I just keep because the phone is there so they can contact me through the office and everything else. I don't love it, but it is what it is. So I have to keep unplugging that to plug in my computer to get internet to, like, I don't know, take
Do
attendance.
you have a work cell phone?
No, but I have my personal cell on me. So
Okay,
I
was
have
gonna
a
say,
phone.
you could hotspot that.
I could, but the amount of signal you get in my classroom's real low
You see,
because the buildings are built as hurricane shelters. So they're just thick chunks of concrete. Hence the need for the Wi-Fi.
you see,
Yes.
this is where if this was an ordinary podcast, I would have cut the last 15 minutes. However,
Me
you're gonna
complaining
have to
about
suffer.
work.
We are going. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with State of Decay Big Finish and the Tomorrow People. And Brian will now plug Thaco Gaming. I hadn't forgotten.
Yes, this Saturday we have yet another episode of Tales of the Astral Sea, beginning Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK time. It's me and a couple other people just fucking around, very much.
So, not much change, to be fair. It's good fun. It's a lot of good fun. And Brian's coming along in leaps and bounds as a dungeon master. He
No,
really
he's
is.
not.
Yes, you
No,
are.
it's not.
You are. Very enjoyable. Lots of fun. I get bullied.
Just remember, we're kind of like Critical Role, only we suck.
Yeah. And like I say, if you want to see me being constantly bullied, come and watch this.
You do your fair share.
I do not! I'm a good girl,
You
I'm
started
Professor.
shit last time.
Look,
It was subsiding.
I had just been taught about banter, so I tried it out. It didn't work.
You need to explain that and apologize about it.
No, I'm going to have to go and bloody rescue them first. That's where this is heading. I'm going to have to
don't
go out into the wilds beyond the walls and rescue them.
Don't know.
Do, 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 do.
It'd be a dragon. Anyway, say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye, 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 bye.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
No, seriously, John Levine was good in The Demons. Goat.